Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 22 of Betting the W. We are back. We are looking forward to basketball season. We got preseason. We got preseason WNBA hoops tonight, and then in a couple weeks we'll have the real deal going down. So today we're going to talk some awards. We're also going to touch on some softball, and I think I want to start with lacrosse.
All right, Max.
You had a strong look for UNC to win the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
They got there. They're looking very hot. Took down Syracuse. But it was the BC Eagles who took home the championship from the ACC. And notably, this is their first ever ACC championship, which was shocking to me.
And they ended a dynasty.
They did. UNC had won 6 straight tournaments. So even though BC won a national championship during that stretch, they had never won the ACC. It was just UNC over the last 6 years. So BC, really took down a beast in the conference championship game, and it was a thriller. 11-9, tight game the whole way through, and this BC team is so good. And I don't know how much you watched, but the X factor for the entire tournament was their goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Shea Dolce is a freshman. First-year player for them, unreal in goal. Saved a ton of UNC shots, held them to 9 goals. That's a crazy low total for UNC, and she held other strong offenses down as well. So Shea Dolce is going to be, she was the player of the tournament. She's going to be the player to watch in the national tournament. Yeah. And if BC wins another championship, I'm saying they do it on the back of Shea Dolce. They've got excellent players all around, but the goal is where, that's where it starts. That's where you stop the other team's offense and get your own going. So that was huge for BC. They're the ACC champions. They locked up their bid to the tournament well ahead of time because we still have some conference tournaments going on. Denver's still undefeated. Northwestern is still number 1. The game of the weekend this weekend, if you want to watch some lacrosse, Northwestern-Maryland rematch.
Oh, yeah.
I said that last time. I predicted Maryland last time, and I've really been looking for an angle to try to pick you again this weekend, and I just, in good conscience, could not do it. I was thinking, Maryland, they've been here before. They've done this before. They won last year, but that was the only year out of the last 4 or 5 that Northwestern didn't have Izzy Skane.
Yeah.
She was hurt. Last 3 times, I think, in 2021, Northwestern won it all. 2020, there was no tournament. 2019, Northwestern upset regular season champion Maryland. Those years they had Izzy Skane, and Izzy Skane's back and at full strength. So I can't, in good conscience, pick an upset there. I think Northwestern rolls, and I think that they're the best team in the country right now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I'm riding with the hot hand in BC, but Northwestern is just dominating right now. Dominating. So that's what's going on in the world of Lax. We have that tournament coming up. One of my favorites. It's going to be so exciting to watch. We also have some softball going on this weekend.
Big weekend.
Some meaningful softball. As we come to the end of the regular season, this is the weekend that we've been hyping up all year long as that Oklahoma would be tested finally.
Yeah.
They face Oklahoma State, and whether or not it's competitive, it will have a lot of hype because it's going to be, all the games are on national TV. They're all on an ESPN network. So it's a 3-game series. If Oklahoma State can steal one from OU, that means a lot to this team. That is still a top 10 team. They've had kind of a slide lately, but they're still a top 10 team nonetheless.
I'd go as far as saying if they can make these games competitive.
Yeah, right.
That means just as much as winning a game.
If they can play Oklahoma close in 2 out of 3, something like that, that's a big weekend for Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
It's all about who's going to beat the Sooners. Who can play with the Sooners. We've been saying it all year. Don't think anybody can.
I don't think it's anyone.
UCLA still at 2. Tennessee dropped down to 4. Florida State moved up to 3. So there's strong teams in the Pac-12, the ACC, the SEC. It's all about the Sooners, and can anybody give them a good look right now? That's what we'll see. This is the end of the regular season, and then we'll get into the World Series, which is going to be electric. Well, into the conference tournaments, then the World Series, which will be electric.
Both will be electric.
I love to just peruse D1 softball. Great website for looking at softball stats. I just like to throw out crazy stats every once in a while, and usually they're Val Cagle stats. Val Cagle is still playing well. Clemson not looking so hot, but Val Cagle is still my pick for Player of the Year. If you want to know like just how dominant OU has been, if you haven't been watching Oklahoma softball, if you sort by ERA, you see that they have 3 different pitchers with 15 decisions, 1 loss between them, and they all have a sub 1.1 ERA. We've got Nicole May rocking 15-0 record with a .42 ERA. Then right behind her, Alex Storako, who was the first pick in the Women's Fast Pitch Pro League, going to be facing former teammate Jocelyn Allo, also 15-0, rocking his .75 ERA. And then lowly Jordy Ball with a 1.06 ERA and a loss to her credit.
14-1. Doesn't look as good as
15-0. Embarrassing.
What are we doing?
But in all honesty, like this Oklahoma pitching staff, as if they didn't have the offense to back them up, are just dominant. You just aren't going to touch these pitchers. It's just nuts what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and then not to mention their offense.
Right, exactly. Like they could have a really bad pitching staff, and the offense would still take care of business. And on offense, shout out Sydney McKinney from Wichita State, hitting .527 on the season. I know we were looking at a lot of numbers early on, and like, man, these girls are hitting 600. Over time, it kind of depletes, and nobody else is hitting above 500. Ashley Trierweiler is close from Santa Clara.
496. What are we doing?
Just get another hit. But Sydney McKinney at .527, like that is just crazy. Some of these batters can really just, they get on base, and it's crazy. Like their numbers are wild. So lots of exciting stuff to watch. Offense, pitching, all of it this weekend. There'll be some great softball.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have some picks later on in the show, of course, and we've got a hot take coming up for you. But, a little preview. Let's talk some WNBA.
Yes,
it
sir.
is the WNBA preseason, and of course I want to talk about teams, but I think I want to put that off till next week.
Yeah, we'll hold that one.
Let's talk about individual players and awards today. Let's talk a little bit of NBA award predictions. So, the WNBA, if you're not familiar, rocks pretty much the same lineup of awards that the NBA does. The MVP, last year was A'ja Wilson. Defensive Player of the Year, also A'ja Wilson last year. We got Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, Sixth Player, Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year. So, Damon, let's save the big one for the end. Let's hold off on our MVP picks.
Gotta get that retention.
Exactly. Hold on for the big bang. Hit me with your Defensive Player of the Year prediction.
All right. So Defensive Player of the Year, we got a few favorites.
Yes.
I think JJ going to New York, definitely up there. Brianna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, and A'ja Wilson. I think Vegas doesn't have lines out yet. Hopefully we see those soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
No lines. I would say those are our top picks.
Definitely.
I think it's going to be one of those Liberty bigs. And I'm definitely leaning Jonquel Jones.
Okay.
I'm leaning Jonquel Jones. I think they'll have her anchor the paint, but let Brianna Stewart roam a little.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really want to see it as a point of attack defender, one of these guards.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it happening. These bigs are too dominant.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I like Jonquel Jones here.
Okay, that's a strong pick and from a strong team.
Yeah.
And I think you'll be able to sense a theme in my picks.
Let's hear it.
A little foreshadowing. I like the Mystics a lot this year. And you'll hear about that next week a lot. I don't, as you know, I like parity. I like a little value. So they're the third favorite, but they're not one of the top two. I'm kind of avoiding the top two.
Yeah.
Want to, have a hot take. Pick something that's not, so mainstream. So, Defensive Player of the Year, you mentioned that the bigs are dominating. I'm looking at a guard.
Yeah.
In Natasha Cloud.
Okay.
I think Natasha Cloud is a relentless defender. She's one of the better guards in the league. We kind of forget about her, along with a lot of the Mystics roster because they're always hurt.
Yeah.
But when Natasha Cloud's out there, she makes a big difference on defense. And it's kind of fun to pick a guard because it's easy to have a big be the defensive player of the year because they're blocking shots, they're making a difference down low. But there's going to be a lot of good guard play in the league this year on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to shut down the Sabrina Ionescu? Who's going to shut down, your Kalia Coppers? You're going to call on Natasha Cloud as your leader on defense.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in a guard. I wonder if we do get odds, what the value is going to be on that. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of a value pick than like a guarantee pick. But I think she's kind of an underrated defender that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at another Mystic, actually. I love Shakira Austin, another big.
Yeah.
Coming into her second year. We'll see what her minutes shake out to be if these team's actually healthy. But she's a force, too.
Yeah, exactly. Mystic's strong on defense. I mean, EDD at full strength, too.
Come on.
Incredibly strong on defense. Yeah. So the Mystics have a lot to like on that end of the floor.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any long shots? Other than Natasha Cloud. I mean, that's pretty. That's
my long shot. It's tough when we don't have odds.
Yeah.
Because some players wouldn't even come to mind. That's like, oh yeah, that is actually a great value. Yeah. No one longer than Natasha Cloud. I think that would be my surprise pick.
Okay. I had my eye on two, long shots.
Okay.
Outside of Shakira Austin, who's also a long shot. I really like Bree Jones. I think the Sun, they got rid of JJ. I think they're giving her the keys to this defense.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to come back into the starting lineup because JJ's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to show that dominance that she flashed as the sixth player of the year, sixth woman of the year.
Yep.
And another one, I think you're going to love this one.
Okay.
Aaliyah Boston.
I was going to say maybe a rookie would be my long shot pick. Listen. She was the best defensive player in college basketball. Talking about dominant bigs.
Yeah.
My only thing is rookies often take a second to find their feet.
Mm-hmm.
But if she is as good as advertised and she is dominating right away.
I mean, that's what everyone's saying. Dawn is saying she did not belong at the college level. She's ready.
She's ready. That's what we've heard. Honestly, I don't hate it. I think you would get some really good value on that, too.
Yeah, if you're looking for value, I love Aaliyah Boston.
So, let's transition from Aaliyah Boston. Let's talk Rookie of the Year.
Are we transitioning from Aaliyah Boston? We're transitioning to Aaliyah Boston.
Who besides Aaliyah Boston might have a look at Rookie of the Year?
Diamond Miller, maybe. It's going to be whoever gets the biggest role.
Right.
So Diamond Miller on the Lynx. Lynx are probably not going to be very good.
Yes.
She'll have to carry a lot of that load. Someone else I have my eye on is Jordan Horston. We loved her coming out of the draft. We had her in that 2-3 range. She fell all the way to 8-9.
Yeah.
But the Storm also. They're going to need her.
Yeah.
They're going to need her to do a lot. I'd love to hear your favorites here, other than Lee Boston.
I was also going to roll with Diamond Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I think Diamond Miller is my favorite rookie out of this class.
Yeah.
Just because the impact that she's going to have and the fact that she can kind of do it all on the court. So, like you mentioned, Lynx aren't going to be very good. Mm-hmm. They're losing a lot. They have a lot of rookies that are going to play. Can she be the leader among... Is it going to look like the Fever last year where no one really takes a step up? Or is Diamond Miller going to prove she's a little more mature, a little more ready than everybody else and kind of lead them? If it's just a disaster of the year, she's not going to be able to accomplish much. But, excuse me, I think I like Diamond Miller to play that big role for the Lynx this year.
And then, do you have a long shot in mind?
These long shots.
I love my value picks. I know you love your value picks. That's why I keep throwing it to you.
Yeah, okay, if I'm thinking, I'm looking at Ren Howard, Atlanta Dream. I think the Dream have drafted really well the last couple of years. If Haley Jones, I think Haley Jones can make a big impact as a rookie because of her style of play where she passes the ball a lot. She doesn't rely too much on scoring.
Yeah.
Really not scoring that much at all. Plays good defense. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Aaliyah Boston, on Diamond Miller to step up and be the primary scorer for their team, which might take away from the rest of their game. So if Haley Jones is out there just dropping dimes to Letitia Amir and Rin Howard, like, maybe she just, based on her passing, wins the Rookie of the Year.
I mean, I'm afraid of Haley Jones's, like, overall line. I think if she could go out and average, like, a 6.88 type of line.
That's big.
That's big. That's enough to win it. But there is a world where she's going out there maybe, like, 3-4-4.
Right, exactly.
Like, there's a wide range here. If she could get, like, closer to the double digits, maybe a few triple doubles mixed in there.
I think she's
got a shot.
A threat to get a triple double for sure.
Yeah. Someone else I have my eye on actually is Zia Cook. This Sparks team, I texted you during the draft. I think they're going to be horrendous.
They're going to be bad.
They have pretty lofty expectations too with all this new leadership.
Right.
I don't think it's going to go well. And she's just going to have to go out there and hoop. I think she could end up being like the first or second option on this team. And as long as she can hold her own defensively, I think she's got a shot.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Zia Cook is definitely a leader and can make the offense happen as the point guard we saw it at South Carolina. So, who, in your mind, this is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a real tough one.
Rookie of the Year is a tough one because we don't know who's going to be on the roster yet, and a lot of rookies do get cut.
I mean, this year it's not tough.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Other years.
Exactly. It's hard to pick a long shot, but most improved player is a tough one for me too, just because it's going to be a player who was unexpectedly strong. So we're not supposed to expect them at all. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the most improved player if we expect them to perform well.
Yeah.
But who do you like that's kind of unassuming at the moment that could have a breakout year?
Yeah, I mean, you're telling me, I mean, without the lines, without Vegas telling me who to like, I don't know who to like.
Yeah, exactly.
I got my eye on Crystal Dangerfield.
Okay.
Change of scenery, going to do her well. She was the Rookie of the Year, 2-3 years ago. Coming out of UConn, she was a hooper. Hooper. Has not looked good the past 2 years.
No.
I think this change of scenery is going to do her well. I was looking at the award history. The voters don't like second-year players.
Right.
So I wanted to pick one of these sophomores.
Yeah.
Straight away from that. So I think Crystal Dangerfield, she's a vet, has not looked good the past few years, but we know she could hoop. I think she comes back, this new Dallas roster, she just hoops. Okay.
I like that pick a lot. I like her to kind of break out and live up to the expectations that she set early on.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Dana Evans from the Chicago Sky. She's a player who was really hyped up coming out of Louisville.
Yeah.
She was on that team that went to the Final Four. And then her 2 years in the W just hasn't really lived up to expectations. Hasn't really had the opportunity. Hasn't had a ton of minutes. So the Sky need help. They got rid of everybody. She's ironically kind of like a Kalia Copper 2.0. She looks a lot like Kalia Copper too and plays like her. So I think Dana Evans just like a strong guard, good jump shot, strong defender. Can make an impact for this Sky team in a way that they really need like anybody to step up.
Yeah.
I think Dana Evans was a leader at Louisville. She could be a leader for the Sky and step into a much bigger role this year.
Yeah, I agree. And with that Sky team especially, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to step up.
A lot. Somebody needs to make an impact somehow.
Yeah, and we'll get to it, but I got someone making an impact.
There we go. Give me your sixth player of the year coming off the bench.
This one too, without odds, I really just don't know.
I don't know who's going to start.
I don't know who's going to come off the bench. I have either Courtney Vandersloot or Maureen Johannes. I think one of them is getting bumped to the bench.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Vandersloot.
Okay.
So I think if she's on the bench, she's going to be that spark off the bench. Just shoot the lights out. Just overall kill it for that Liberty team. They just have too many starters.
Yeah.
So someone's got to get bumped.
I agree. I actually also have a Liberty guard, a different one though. I have Dee Richards.
Okay.
I think she's going to be coming off the bench. She's a third-year player. This is a team loaded with stars. It's going to be tough to get a starting spot, but there's going to be a lot of good minutes to be had off the bench once those players get tired. I think Dee Richards is just a spark plug. Like, great player, came from Baylor, had a good first couple years, and really steps into her role as the next player off the bench for this strong she's a guard, listed as a guard forward, so
forward.
she could kind of play anywhere. She's going to be a useful player to have on the bench. So I like D.D. Richards.
And super strong defender. My only thing is, I was at the Dream Liberty game behind the bench.
Yeah.
D.D. Richards did not sit down the whole game.
Oh, no.
Blocked my entire view. So I am anti-D.D. Richards.
She's got the energy. She can't sit down. She's too pumped on the bench.
She didn't see the court. She was hurt. Did not see the court. Stood the whole game.
Yep.
If you are hurt enough to not make it in the game, I think you got to take a seat. My dog.
I like that. That's an X factor for me.
She's a dog.
She never sits down.
She's a dog.
Too much dog.
I mean, talking about the Liberty, you also got to talk about the Aces. So Raquana Williams, I think, same deal with the Aces. Too many starters.
Yep.
They have 6 starters, only 5 spots on the court. And Raquana Williams getting bumped to the bench and just going hoop.
Yeah, these two teams are both going to have 2-3 starters coming off the bench. That's just dangerous for the rest of the league.
Yeah, and then I have like a somewhat long shot, just given the circumstances. We're gonna talk about the Sky. I think Courtney Williams might end up coming off the bench. Their 3 best players are all guards.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's the worst one out of all of those.
Yeah.
But she has that energy. She's a dog. She could come off the bench, just be like Pat Bev.
Yeah, exactly. She's very much. We saw her play a lot of Connecticut, just crazy energy off the bench. Definitely will make a big impact. And yeah, you could be right. She could be coming off the bench just because they have so many good guards.
If you're the Sky, you want all 3 of them in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's some funky defense.
That's a lot of guards. That's a lot of guards to put out there. So last year, Coach of the Year was an easy one from the preseason.
Yeah.
The favorite won the award easy. Becky Hammon became the highest paid coach. Became the highest paid coach in league history. Then went on to win the championship and won the Coach of the Year easy.
Yes.
So I don't think there's exactly a clear-cut favorite this year. Who do you like? Who's your pick for Coach of the Year?
I like Becky Hammon winning Coach of the Year for the Raptors. I like Aces head coach is Becky Hammon.
Yes.
Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello.
Yep.
I mean, Coach of the Year is such a weird one. It's just whoever gets the most wins most of the time.
Yeah.
If you really defy expectations like Mike Brown this year, you can win it, but a lot of times just who has the most wins.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I would go Becky Hammon, but I think they'd be hesitant to give it to the same coach twice. It's not like an MVP where if you just dominate the league over and over again, you keep getting it. I feel like they want to spread the love or whatever. So I agree with Sandy Brondello. I'm going to hammer Sandy Brondello for Coach of the Year because she's picking up an excellent Liberty roster. Making waves also.
The coaches really don't win the award, the players do.
Exactly, yeah. Do you have a great roster to work with? And she does. This one, I don't have a pick.
I really don't have a pick either. Let's just throw it out there for the bit.
Do you know an executive from a WNBA team?
Hey, Morgan Tuck, let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Bring this thing home. No, I think it's Kevin Durant is winning Executive of the Year for the Liberty.
Bro made the biggest move in franchise history, then got the hell out of there. Bro did not stick around.
He was there for the Liberty. He was not there for the Nets.
Facts.
That's why he went to New York, and he was like, all right, we got him a ring, hopefully. I'm out.
Yep. He accomplished his goal in Brooklyn. He covered all his bases at the Barclays. So maybe he'll be back for some games. Maybe they'll have him back.
That's his biggest legacy at the Barclays.
Big time. So let's talk about
the big one.
The big fish. The MVP. This is the one.
We have odds.
We have odds for this one. Thrilling. FanDuel has some odds out right now for the MVP, and there are some strong favorites.
Yes.
We talk about the teams that are favorites, the Liberty and the Aces. Their best players are the strong favorites. Brianna Stewart at plus 280, Asia Wilson to repeat at plus 300. Let's do it this way. Between those two, if we're just talking those two, between the two, if you had to pick a favorite, which one do you like better?
I lean Asia there to repeat.
Okay.
I think the Liberty are a little bit better than the Aces. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, but the Aces are better coached, have the experience, think Asia leading that team would win that MVP.
Okay. I think I would roll with Brianna Stewart. Just like coming back from kind of being away for a while. It's kind of surprising everybody. I think she's the odds-on favorite, but I think I like Brianna Stewart to take care of business there. Working with John Paul Jones down low, I think that team is just going to be so good. And sometimes the best player on the best team just gets the MVP.
That's what will happen.
So let's look past the top two now. So to round out the top five, we got Kelsey Plum at plus 650. We got Sabrina Ionescu at plus 750. Elena Delle Donne also plus 750.
Mm-hmm.
These are we got 5 strong odds, and then everybody else is kind of a long shot. So give me, who do you like out of these 3?
I'm going to surprise you here. I like Sabrina to win it. Overall.
Ooh, okay.
You say just those 3. I like her out of those 5. I like her out of everyone. I like Sabrina.
Okay.
She was finally healthy last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a Liberty game, and she just took over. If Baldwin Stock covered women's hoops, he would love her. She just hoops like crazy. And I think her efficiency has been bad in the W. Or not bad, but not the same as it was coming out of college. It's just because there was nobody on that team. They just throw everyone at her and say, all right, just got to stop Sabrina. Now she's got some help.
Right.
I think Sabrina's going to shock a lot of people and be the best team, not only in the Liberty, but in the league. Now, out of those 3, who do you need?
Well, my favorite is also in this group as well, also at plus 750. I'm rolling with Elena Delle Donne.
Yeah.
I told you I'd have a lot of Mystics in here, and Elena Delle Donne has been off the face of the basketball planet for the last few years, just is always hurt. She's coming back, and when she's on the floor, she's just electric. She is so dominant. She's so big, but makes her shots and is the best free throw shooter statistically in the history of professional basketball. Elena Delle Donne comes back, has an excellent comeback season, and without all these other stars in her way, which is how I would spin it, I also like your approach of Sabrina Ionescu, finally not having all the defenders on her.
Yeah.
But Elena Delle Donne, without having to share the ball, is going to take over, lead the Mystics to a really strong season, and I think she shows out, gets the MVP.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little hesitant to pick anyone on the Aces of Liberty.
Exactly.
They have to share the ball. If you look at the odds, 4 of the top 10, 5 of the top 10 are on those teams.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
It's a real concentration of power on those 2 teams.
Yeah, that's why I love your Elena Delle Donne pick.
Yeah. I think if she steps up, leads the Mystics, surprises some people, even if they just have a strong season and don't take down the two-headed monster, if they show out and she really shows out individually, I think that could be an MVP caliber season for EDD.
Yeah, my thing with the Mystics is you have to be at least that 3 seed if you want EDD to win this MVP.
Yeah.
If you shock people, get that 1 or 2, I think you can lock it in. Right then and there. If they're the 3 seed, she's got a shot. Anything lower, that's a disappointment.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be
a failure.
A failure. Steps to success. If everybody on those top 2 teams is kind of sharing the wealth, everybody's doing well, nobody's standing out, then it's going to be that 3rd team who's the best player there.
Yep.
So if that's the Mystics, that's going to be Elena Delle Donne. If it's somebody else, she's going to kind of fall by the wayside.
Yeah, and voters love that best player on the best team narrative.
Yeah, exactly. She's the reason that they had that success. Yes. Outside of our top 5, we've got all those players with 3-digit odds. Give me a player with some longer odds than that outside of the top 5 that you're interested in.
Okay, I'm looking at the odds, and all these plus 1,000, 3,000. There's one name that I'm not seeing that I'm like, she's better than everyone here. And that's Kalia Copper. Kalia Copper is all the way down there, plus 10,000.
That's wild.
And she's better than... If you scroll up... Here, I'll list them off. She's better than Alyssa Thomas. She's better than Onyeka Ogwumike. She's better than... I don't know if she's better than JJ. She's better than Candace Parker at this stage in her career.
Yeah.
She's definitely better than Nafisa Collier. Arike, maybe not. SDS, who knows what's up with her? Isn't she having a kid?
She's pregnant.
Is she playing? So she doesn't deserve those odds. Jewel Lloyd, Kalia Copper's definitely better. Kelsey Mitchell, I also love Kelsey Mitchell there. Kalia Copper at plus 10,000 is outrageous. I know I'm a Philly guy. I'm a rock with Philly legend Kalia Copper, but I don't think I'm biased to say plus 10,000 is such good value there. This team, this Sky team, is completely different than the one that won.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have pretty much all of the offensive load. Her and Mabry. And Mabry's going to help. She's going to draw some defenders. You can't leave Mabry open, so Kalia Copper is going to get one-on-one options.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's just going to cook. She's an efficient scorer at all three levels. She's going to have higher usage. There's a world, I think, where Copper goes off like 18 to 20 points a game. The Sky are a 4 or 5 seed, and she runs away with this award.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely see that. And like you said, like she, at the very least, is going to be taking on a huge workload.
Yeah.
So if the Sky are a halfway decent team, she's going to be a strong MVP candidate just for getting them there.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, putting up the numbers that it takes to have the Sky have success.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. There are definitely some surprises on this list. And
Yeah.
I'm often questionable of odds makers and just like, are you guys like keeping up with everything? SDS is a big one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like you said, I'm pretty sure she's pregnant.
Miss a lot of the season.
I think she's gonna miss most of the season. I'm not a sports psychologist, but I feel like it's gonna take some time for Brittany Griner to be back to her old self. Like, sure, she should be on this list, but at plus 1900, like.
Yeah,
please,
was that
like
6 best odds?
For this, like, don't do it for the story. Like, it would be a great story, but realistically, like, she's not going to be the same player right away. Rin Howard is still very young, and like too young, I think, to win an MVP. I think Nneka Ogwumike has been away from the game for a while too. Jonquil Jones is a third option on that Liberty team. Candace Parker, love Candace Parker. She's still balling. She's old. Like she is old. Like she is also playing with 4 All-Stars.
And she's taken a step back in her role. Like
Candace, if Candace wanted an MVP, she would not have gone to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
like
she wants a ring, baby.
There's a lot of value down here, kind of in this region.
Mm-hmm.
I like Arike Ogunbowale.
Yeah,
she's playing with a lot of young players for the Wings, and she is just an excellent scorer. Like no matter who she's with, she's now gonna hopefully have some help in Maddie Segrist and the other young players that they've picked up. I saw a picture of like the Wings at practice yesterday. They're so tall.
Yeah,
they have so many tall players.
That's a big team.
Like they have a lot of players who can just grab rebounds and feed it back to Arike. So it's like another Dallas Hooper. Like
buckets.
She's kind of like Luka in that way. Like just go grab the rebound and get it back to me. I'm gonna make a great shot. So I think that's my favorite value beyond plus 1,000.
Plus 4,000 for her is pretty crazy.
That's strong. That's really strong.
I just want to throw out one more I like. I said Kelsey Mitchell. Plus 9.5K.
That is strong.
I think that's good value. They have some help down in the post now with Aaliyah Boston.
Yep.
She's going to be the leader on this Fever team.
Very much so.
She better be. Otherwise, they will not be good. I'm high on this team. I'm high on Kelsey Mitchell. She saved my fantasy team last year after Tina Charles just completely screwed me over.
Tough. Tina Charles.
Tina Charles is not on a team.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know what's up there.
I forgot about that.
No one wants her. I wouldn't want her.
She's not welcome back on your fantasy team.
No, sir.
Under any circumstances.
Her and Dylan Brooks. See ya. Kelsey Mitchell's just going to be able to live on the perimeter. She's a sharpshooter. I see, similar to Arike. Put it up, you miss. Aaliyah Boston get the board, kick it right back out, pull up again, second chance bucket.
Give it back.
We good.
I think that's so true. And there are going to be a lot of players on a lot of teams who are just like, on a shooting machine, just get the rebound, give it to me. Get the rebound, give it to me, and that might be a recipe for success if your team wins some games.
Yeah, I mean, I sincerely think we'll get into team predictions, like actual season predictions next week. I sincerely think this Fever team is gonna be good and surprise a lot of people.
There we go. So that's a nice little teaser. Next week we are going to talk championship futures. We're going to talk predictions for the season, teams from a team standpoint. And then the week after that, we're going to be picking some games, some regular season games. So things are about to heat up in the W.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to watch these games.
Be on the lookout. BT Double on the road.
Little teaser. So let's finish this episode off strong. Let's bring Kate in here for a walk-off pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I wish I could have went 2-0 last week.
It would have been
huge.
electric. So yeah, last week, Damon, you did get your pick.
I got the Bama pick.
You first went to 10 correct picks in the history of our show. You also came very close to hitting on your UNC to win the ACC prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Did not happen. BC took over in the championship game. Kate and I both went 1-0 last week. I got the dub. UNC beat Syracuse in the semis. And Merrimack beat UMass. So you betrayed your own UMass family, but it worked out well for you. Congratulations.
They're not my
Hey,
family.
I hope you feel good about
the
yourself.
flagship.
That's
They're
facts.
not my family.
Bring it over here. So Kate,
Yes.
hot hand. 1-0 in your last one. What do you got for
Yes,
us?
sir.
I have Stanford, Washington. Their series starting
Yeah.
today, very soon, 3 a.m.
Ooh, can't wait. I hate
this.
the NCAA website because it always puts the times as AM. You're the NCAA. You're in charge of this.
It's been like this for months.
You're like, I always see like BC Lax playing at 1 a.m.
Are we
You're
sure?
the NCAA.
Are we sure they're not playing at midnight Pacific? You got to feel for those players.
There's no way. There's no
They're
way.
not.
Shout out. That series is also going to be on national TV. That's also
Yes.
a top 10
Yeah.
series. I
It
meant to
is.
mention that earlier. So a big watch. What's your pick there?
It's I got Stanford taking 2 out of 3.
Okay.
No sweep.
Okay.
I think it'll be a good, close series.
I agree.
But I think Stanford's just that much better, and also Stanford is home.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's going to be a big difference.
So
Yeah.
I like
Sounds
that.
like
I like that to be a competitive series for sure. I am also rolling with a big softball series. I know in the past I've clowned for taking a team to win 1 out of 3, but I think the circumstances
It's valid.
it's
Fair.
bold enough to pick one game. Oklahoma State will win one game against Oklahoma this weekend. That's a tough pick to make. You should never pick against Oklahoma. I've learned this over the years. Oklahoma State is still a good team. They're still a top 10 team. This is a rivalry. This is Bedlam. This is national TV. If the Cowgirls have any pride in their program, they will find a way to win one against OU. It might take some weird overthrown ball on the base pass and they get a run somehow,
Yeah,
but
you're gonna have to manufacture something.
it doesn't have to be pretty. Just win a game. Put a little fear into Oklahoma heading into the conference tournament. OSU to win 1.
Okay, and I know I'm gonna catch some flack for this one. In good conscience, I don't think I could pick a lax or softball game just with how hoops brained I am right now. All week, I've been locked into these preseason games. I'm gonna go out with the first player prop in BT Dub history, and I'm going Diamond Miller is going for 20 plus in tonight's preseason game.
tonight?
Tonight,
Oh
I
my
might just
God.
be a hoop sicko.
Doesn't it start today? Like this is the first.
Yeah, Diamond Miller starting off hot. We like her as a potential rookie of the year. She's gonna start that campaign tonight, 20 plus against the Mystics.
Listen, man. I have no comment. This is one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
What if he gets one?
He might. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a good line. He made it up in his head.
Hey, you guys make up 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. We don't have any softball lines.
These are games. These are games that are happening.
We don't have any softball
Oh
lines.
my
We're
God.
just going for it.
All right. This is gross.
Hey, just wait. Next week when I'm victory lapping that Diamond Miller 20 piece.
I'm gonna start making up the most ridiculous prop bets in my mind.
Hey. 20 in a preseason game is crazy.
It's your pick.
That's why I set the line there. I'm pretty much Vegas.
Listen,
I know.
We're gonna send you into the weekend. Watch some softball. Watch some lax.
Watch
Watch some
Simon Miller go
WNBA
for 20,
preseason if you're an insane person. Or you could go outside.
Touch grass,
Maybe touch grass. Happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
Yeah.
Go have some fun. We will see you next week.